we got Comic-Con in a couple days. Now, with that said, we got some fucking leaks here. We got a lot of fucking leaks. Let me just pull up this shit real quick. So, first, they want to say basically, I don't. Okay, so none of this is confirmed. None of this is for sure.
Take everything we say with a grain of salt, honestly.
This is all like, yeah. Okay, so basically, so the first thing they really get into is that they're coming back with Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds will be there to announce the next Deadpool. And we have the director Sean Levy.
Which we already knew that Deadpool was coming back. I mean, to be fair, I think if Marvel didn't bring Ryan Reynolds Deadpool back, I honestly think a lot of people would riot because his Deadpool was pretty good. And at one point, the first Deadpool was the highest grossing rated R movie of all time, which is kind of crazy. So that's cool. Definitely. And we also already have confirmation he is in the MCU. I don't know if this commercial is canon or not, but there was a commercial. It was probably a year ago now with Deadpool and Korg. They were just in a commercial together at the same time. So I've already basically confirmed that Deadpool is canon to the MCU now.
Yeah. Do you know the Disney cruise?
Yeah, I've seen the Disney cruise, but there's no. Is there anything to do with Deadpool there?
Yeah. So there was a leak the other day, basically like showing all the Avengers that are on the list, and they had Deadpool on there actually, and it said active but do not contact. Pretty much.
Shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What do you guys think? I mean, I honestly think with Deadpool 3, after Deadpool 2, I feel like what's going to happen is going to be brought into the MCU, and it's going to be a fish out of water type of movie. So basically, he's going to come into the MCU and be like, whoa, there's all these superheroes. And then he's going to be like, this is a crazy universe. I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen in Deadpool 3?
Okay, so in the last Deadpool, they kind of introduced the X-Men, and what I really want to see is the X-Men introduced into the MCU. I mean, we've gotten some X-Men movies, but we haven't, like, they really never really made a connection between the X-Men and the MCU. That's always been like they're like standalone type shit, you know what I mean? Plus they were made like, all those X-Men movies were made way before the fucking, way before the MCU even started, so they really have no correlation.
If anything...
Go ahead.
Oh, if anything, they'll probably bring back like the X-Men cast, the ones from Days of Future Past, and like them.
So you guys think we're gonna see like older X-Men characters in Deadpool 3?
Well, I mean, put it this way: we already saw Professor X in Madness, Marvels of Madness.
Multiverse.
See, that's true. That's true, but I don't know how they're gonna bring Deadpool into the Marvel universe. How did that happen? We all know that in Spider-Man No Way Home we got the Raimi villains, and we also got the Amazing Spider-Man villains in there, but they went back. So how do you guys think Marvel explains Deadpool gets from the Fox universe to the MCU universe?
Well, okay, so I want to say they touched on this in another movie. I don't really know the specifics, but I want to say they touched on at least the X-Men or some type of mutants in another movie. I know. So they made sure that we knew that Miss Marvel was a mutant. So obviously we know the X-Men exist, or mutants exist in the MCU already. They just don't have a solid thing. I think if anything, it would have to do with the X-Men and Professor X kind of, because I think the only person that really has power to kind of switch universes is Professor X. So I think it has something to do with Professor X doing some type of certain goofy power, whatever the fuck he does to transform to another.
I don't think he can switch universes. I think he has the intellect to create a universal time machine, like a universal machine. But I don't know if I don't know if his powers can allow him to go to. I mean, America. They literally said in Doctor Strange, America Chavez is the only person in all of the universes ever to have the ability to transfer universes like that.
Actually, you're right. That could be another thing. America can come out of nowhere and just fucking help my boy Deadpool, and then he just fucking transports the MCU.
Yeah.
I personally hope we see. Because I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to start the movie in the Fox universe, and then I think probably something's going to happen. I mean, maybe they make some sort of like machine, or maybe they have. I mean, with the timelines being split with Loki now, anything could possibly happen. So what if like Deadpool just stumbles upon a portal and it's Deadpool, so he's like, oh, I wonder what the fuck this is, and he just walks in it, and but I don't know how they're going to do it. I really hope it's a fish out of water. But when it comes to like X-Men and Deadpool 3. I kind of feel like Marvel's going to save their version of the X-Men for their own thing. I kind of feel like Marvel wants to set up the X-Men as their new Avengers.
That'd be pretty sick. Because I mean, as we know, like the original cast is gone. Like now we're getting the new Avengers. All the old ones are getting replaced. But if anything, I feel like they're gonna have to like tie into something with Kang the Conqueror, because I know in the comics that X-Men and Kang the Conqueror, they beefed it a little bit, but that would possibly be the ultimate thing that brings them together, because I can't personally think of anything else.
Well, I mean, Kang is already out there. Like we saw within a few seconds of Kang winning. Kang's out there, bro. I mean, if time is like expansive everywhere, bro. Like, and he's out there in every single universe. There's a version of Kang. So I mean, he could already have been fucked with the X-Men universe already.
Yeah, so there's just briefly go into Kane's backstory and how he like kind of goes about time travel and multi-dimensional like travel. Because I don't really know too much about Kane, and just for the viewers,
so I mean, so in the MCU. I don't really remember. So basically in the MCU, there's like a bunch, there was like a Kang war, right? So time travel or like the multiverse did exist at one point in the MCU timeline, and it was created by Kang. And so basically, from what I understand is, I think they're only like one Kang only wanted to, so basically one of the Kangs only wanted to be the one. And so I think that Kang went around to all the other universes and tried to kill all the other Kangs. And I believe that's the one. I'm not too sure. Honestly, I don't remember. I've only seen that Loki episode once, but I'm sure Bart can explain the comic book version a lot better.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different versions of him. The only thing I could think of is there's a Pharaoh version of King that's out there in the MCU, and they kind of teased him a little bit in Moon Knight. I'm trying to think of Apocalypse. I think. Did you guys see that movie?
I haven't. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen any of the X-Men movies.
Okay. If anything, they could tie something. Yeah, they could tie something in there, because Apocalypse, he was a villain and he thrived in like the Egyptian times and everything like that. And maybe they could make a correlation with Kang, because he was also a version of himself was a Egyptian. So I mean, it's just up in the air right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we already know. Obviously we'll get to Ant-Man, but it's already been confirmed that Kang is going to be the main villain of Ant-Man. But regardless, if that version of Kang dies, there's billions upon trillions of other Kangs out there in the multiverse. So
yeah, we've seen at the end of Loki, basically the good version of Kang
is dead.
He's dead now. So a bunch of versions of him are gonna come cause like chaos across the multiverse. So we'll see where they go with that.